Stop the FOMO! Do you have a fear of missing out on the Sony Bravia 9 flagship TV for 2024 because it is just too expensive? Well, the Hisense U9N might be just for you. It has the specs to prove it. The U9N is the flagship mini LED TV for Hisense in 2024, and it has the performance to go after and challenge the Bravia 9 for over $1,000 less. Wait, what about the Hisense 110-inch UX? Isn't that supposed to be the flagship? Sure, if you want to fit a 110-inch TV. However, if you want to take that performance of the UX and put it in smaller sizes because you don't want to explain to your wife why you have a 110-inch TV just because FOMO said so. So let's get into why I think the Hisense U9N is the poor man's Bravia 9. Today's video is brought to you by WhoKeys. Trying to build a PC on a budget but don't know where to buy your Windows software cheaply? WhoKeys to the rescue. Use my coupon code SF20 and immediate discount with a free upgrade to Windows 11. At the bottom of this order where it says code CARD, to the right is the product key you need to activate Windows. So copy this long number, then go to the Windows menu and click on Settings. In the Settings menu at the bottom, select Update and Security. Select Activation, then select Change Product Key, paste what you copied from WhoKeys, click Next, click Activate, and you're done. You can buy Windows 11 Pro or Office 2019 Pro with my discount code SF20. Yes, I've been using WhoKeys for the last several years on my own PC builds, and it just works. I love surprises. The Hisense U9N, where did that come from? Not even mentioned once at CES 2024. However, I know why they put it out there. Basically, the UX, very expensive, and they're thinking, okay, we can't release such an expensive TV so soon. I expect the UX, 110-inch and 98-inch to come later in the year. But the Hisense U9N is coming soon, and it is very similar to the UX. I'd say maybe a stripped down version of the UX with all the essentials preserved, specifically image quality. So to make it cheaper, it is likely they're using probably less powerful audio, but the most important items are there. So let's get into it, beginning with the price. They didn't cheap out that much because at launch, the 75-inch is $29.99 and the 85-inch is $39.99, but knowing Hisense, a few weeks after launch, most likely at least a $500 discount, and next thing you know, you're closer to around $24.99, maybe $23.99 for the 75-inch, and definitely less than $35.99 or $34.99 for the 85-inch. Now, how does that compare to the Sony Bravia 9? At the 75-inch, the Bravia 9 is about close to $4,000, and the 85-inch is more like $5,500, and both of those prices will not drop anytime soon. Maybe by Black Friday, a couple of hundred, but we're talking about a price difference of anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000, depending on the size. The question, though, is how close does the Hisense U9N flagship TV at the 75 and 85-inch sizes from Hisense, how does that compare in performance to the Bravia 9 and other flagship mini LED TVs like the Samsung QN900D, which I'm getting next week? And yes, I know I have the U9N, and that one is also, I need to review that TV. But the reality is, I just don't have time, so it sounds like a live stream, right? But anyway, I'm hoping to get the 900D and the U9N, maybe not side by side, or actually, yeah, side by side. I'll have them the same week. And a few weeks after that, at the end of this month, the Bravia 9, maybe the U9N, a few weeks after that. How phenomenal would that be, right? But the reality is, it's all based on your budget because the 900D is even more expensive than the Bravia 9 because it is 8K. So we're going to talk about that later this summer, about what TV, what use case is for you, depending on your budget, and specifically the features that are unique to this TV. Now, back to the Hisense U9N. What makes it unique is this. Like the 98-inch UX, and this is why I said that the U9N is more similar to the UX than you think. The 98-inch UX at CES, we were told 5,000 nits with 10,000 dimming zones, but the 85-inch U9N is 5,000 nits and 5,000 dimming zones. So a little bit down in dimming zones, but the most important part that's shared by all three TVs, The 110-inch UX is 10,000 nits and like 50,000 dimming zones. But what's shared between all three models, the 110-inch UX, 98-inch UX, and 85, 75-inch U9N, is their High-View Engine X. That's the processor that does the magic because, as we know, as Sony has taught us, software processing is everything. And last year's UX with a similar flagship processor was very closely matched against the Sony Bravia X95L. Both 85 inches, and more often than not, they were very similar. And with that same image processor on this year's U9N, this is exciting because now we have the flagship image processor from Hisense at a more manageable size, 75 and 85 inch size. That's definitely something I need to take a look at because if it can get close enough, not necessarily better, but close enough, this could be the poor man's Bravia 9 for the rest of us. Now, other than the specs and the brightness performance that's unique to the U9N and the UX, how does that compare to the U8N? Well, there's more similarities than differences for sure in terms of Wi-Fi 6E, shared by both, as well as 144Hz native gaming panel, and unfortunately, all these TVs have only 2 high bandwidth gaming ports. That means at least 40 gigabits per second. Now, I don't think it's a big issue, but if you need 4 HDMI 2.1 high bandwidth, at least 40 gigabit per second, you'll need to go with one of LG's gaming TVs or Samsung's premium lineup. Now, what excites me most about the U9N is seeing the best image processor from Hisense on an 85-inch TV with max brightness, max dimming zones, for under what I think will be under $3,000 by Black Friday. That sounds like a compelling deal. Now, I know many of you are saying, wait, this is real flagship territory. Because even if it falls to $3,000, let's say, by Black Friday, if the U9N does everything we say it does, right, can we trust the brand to be a flagship experience in terms of audio, the casing? Does it feel nice? Does it look nice? How's the remote control? How's the ownership experience? Durability? Well, durability, I cannot answer that question, but I'll tell you, I am definitely reaching out to Hisense to get the U9N. I didn't even know it's coming, so I have emailed the Hisense team and said, guys, let me borrow that 85 or 75 inch U9N. Let me see what it can do, and we'll see what happens. Let me know, are you interested in a premium Hisense over $2,000? The U9N? Is it the poor man's Bravia 9? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stop the FOMO.